Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. So today we make a video in the topic intercultural weddings between a Vietnamese bride and a foreign groom. We know that this topic may be interesting because there are many girls who have the tendency to marry her foreign boyfriend. And of course, they also have the tendency to conduct their weddings not only in Vietnam, but also in other countries. So I hope that our video could help something and give you some further information and understanding related to this topic. And something about us, we are a group come from class 21E4 of ULIS, and we really hope that our video are liked and uh, receive many comments from you guys. So now let's come to our first part, is our reasons for choosing this topic. So, there is a diverse trends, and especially in the cross-border marriages. So, international marriage or marriage involving foreign partners is not a recent development, and especially in Vietnam. Vietnamese women have long been married abroad, and this tradition dates back many generations. An increasing number of Vietnamese women have left their country of origin to marry and establish permanent residences abroad with their spouses. And here we would have a table which reveals number of Vietnamese female who married with foreign nations over the years by the concerned countries and territories. And through this table, we will see that even though the total number has the tendency to decrease over the years, it is still a big number, which reveals that there is a trend of intercultural marriages of Vietnamese brides with foreign grooms, and it is still popular. So now let's see the media. What do they think of intercultural weddings? So the media is a significant factor in molding of public perception and narratives surrounding cross-border marriages. Vlogs have become a potent platform for people to communicate the nuances of their lives as technological advancement opens the door for creative storytelling. This forum is used by non-celebrities to record their experiences. In order to understand the process in intercultural marriages between Vietnamese and people from other countries, our video will center on a thorough analysis of the three selected vlog channels. We will explore the themes, storytelling strategies, and overall impact of these vlogs on the greater debate around cross-border weddings.
And now we will come to the analyzation of the vlogs. So first one, for the reason for choosing the video, we weren't really picky when it comes to videos because we believe that the number of views or the number of subscribers weren't the deciding factors when it comes to the authenticity of a product. So with that in mind, we sought the internet for some quality videos, and after extensive research, we decided to use the three videos from three channels, Jing and Steve, Ling and Nolan, Lisa and Michael. And so now with the common features, both weddings were between a Vietnamese bride and the grooms are from other countries and other cultures. The Vietnamese here in our consideration are people who were born and followed Vietnamese culture. These Vietnamese American cultural weddings were conducted in all three places, the United States, Vietnam soil. Besides, the three weddings made every effort to preserve the Vietnamese traditions in the wedding. The wedding organization is divided into two parts. The first part will be conducted according to the wedding culture of the groom's country. Notably, the groom wears a suit and the bride wears a white wedding dress. The wedding will be held at church, and the bride's father will lead the bride down the aisle and hand the bride to the groom. The second part of the wedding was held according to the customs of Vietnam, which is also the bride's homeland. At this time, the bride and groom will wear áo dài, traditional Vietnamese wedding attire. The groom's family will go to the bride's house and talk to the bride's parents, and then, receiving permissions from the bride's family, the groom will go to the bride's room to take the bride down to meet the two families.
Now we'll move to analysis of the videos. The first video is about the wedding of Ching and Steve. Their vlog begins with a very warm scene when Ching and her soon-to-be husband, Steve, read the words they wrote to each other to express their love, gratitude, and wishes for married life. The wedding ceremony was performed in a church, where a wedding officiant administered the couple's rites. Jing's father walked alongside her down the aisle to the groom. The bride and groom then said their vows and affirmed their marriage. In the next part, people who are close to the newlyweds read their thoughts and made wishes to them, which is a meaningful part of the wedding custom from Steve's country. Jing and Steve then hopped in their car and drove away to begin their honeymoon. After the wedding ceremony at the church, the two families and guests came to the couple's house and enjoyed the party. Everybody danced and cheered, which is something that happens in both Vietnamese and American wedding customs. Furthermore, there was also a part in the wedding when the wedding was conducted in accordance with Vietnamese culture. It was when both Steve and Trinh wore áo dài, the traditional costume of the Vietnamese, and greeted the two families, especially the bride's family. This showed that even though Trinh lived in America and had an intercultural wedding, the couple still respect and maintain Vietnamese culture.
Now we'll come to the wedding of Linh and Nolan, which was organized in Vietnam. The first part of the video is a bridal ceremony organized in the bride's home, with the grooms and his family wearing traditional áo dài. This detail shows that despite not actually living in Vietnam, they still appreciated the country's culture. The two families then have a meeting where they introduce each other, give their speeches, and pray for blessing. Then the bride's family give the groom permission to see the bride. After which, both families give the bride and groom various gifts as a way to express their best wishes for the couple's marriage. The groom's mother also gives lucky money to the bridesmaid and groomsmen. We then get to Ling's and Nolan's wedding reception. Both the groom and bride walk down the aisle side by side with their parents, an ubiquitous practice in American weddings. During the main event, the bride and the groom cut their wedding cake and pour champagne together, an action that symbolized unity between husband and wife, always being together and sharing everything in the upcoming marriage, an action that can be found in both Vietnamese and American wedding culture. One thing to acknowledge is the choice of music throughout the reception. It started with Golden Hour, a popular song in America, then transitioned to the classic saxophone when the parents give their speeches, similar to many weddings in Vietnam. We then see the clips of the newlywed friend giving their best wishes to the couple, something that often happens in American weddings.
Finally, our third video, the wedding between Lisa and Michael. Lisa is Vietnamese, Michael is Puerto Rican, and their wedding was held in Birmingham, England. In the first part of the video, we can see how the groomsmen carry trays of gifts and join the groom's family to the bride's home. This is a traditional part of Vietnamese culture, which is called lễ dạn ngõ, or proposal ceremony. Additionally, we can see that the bride and her family's women all wear áo dài, the traditional costume of Vietnamese women in a wedding. The Vietnamese tea ceremony was conducted with everyone gathered into a room where the families were formally introduced. The couple showed respect by serving tea while their friends and family gave advice about marriage, life, and wished them well. Still, in the second part of the wedding, the groom waits for his bride in the church. Then they move to the yard where there was their father, who declared they were married, and additionally the guests. After the wedding, the newlywed couple and the guests dance and enjoy the post-wedding party.
Now we come to the media critic. From the three videos, we get a glimpse into the proceeding of an intercultural wed marriage ceremony between a Vietnamese and a foreigner, and how the unique and distinct aspects of both cultures are preserved and blended together. In Ching and Steve video, the most notable example of Vietnamese cultural influence is in the bride's and groom's choice to wear modernized áo dài or áo dài cách tân to the pre-wedding party. Overall, Western elements are more prominent, from the location of the ceremony which was performed in and how it was carried out to the dance after party held following the wedding itself. Ling and Nolan, however, chose to go in the opposite cultural order in their video. Firstly, their bridal ceremony closely followed Vietnamese tradition. We can see that there were traditional Vietnamese food. The áo dài, which were worn not only by the bride and groom, but also wedding attendees, and the various decorations and ceremonies that were adhered to. Meanwhile, the wedding reception is observably more Western in behavior, such as Ling and Nolan change into a dress and a suit respectively. They walk down the aisle with their parents, or how the guests are seated in a wide round table. On the whole, both Vietnamese and American influences are represented in the wedding, with Vietnamese influences more prevalent. We can see that in both weddings, the host country's cultural influence appear more in the ceremony. Nevertheless, there is still a healthy respect for cultural differences in each of them. However, in the third wedding, the process seemed to be a little bit different. It still retains some feature of Western wedding and the uniqueness in Vietnamese wedding customs, such as the áo dài.
Okay, so now let's come to an end. We withdraw three things related to intercultural weddings. So first of all, the three vlogs emphasized the preservation of Vietnamese traditions in wedding, especially in intercultural weddings. This is a way for the Vietnamese bride to affirm and express pride for their roots. Furthermore, all three vlogs show interesting points about intercultural weddings between Vietnamese and other countries, things that people will probably be curious about in this type of wedding. Secondly, even though modern Vietnamese weddings have been influenced in many aspects by Western culture, for example, the brides wear the wet dresses and the grooms wear vests, they still retain many traditional elements, such as the áo dài in the proposal ceremony. And lastly, intercultural weddings or intercultural couples have selected this particular detail to maintain their own distinct cultural element in their wedding. It also proves that intercultural weddings will need to preserve the uniqueness of both the bride and the groom's culture, which cannot be affected by the place where the wedding takes place, as the last vlog of Lisa and Michael wedding, even though they hosted their wedding in Birmingham, England, a country which is not the bride's country, but also not the groom countries. They still hold their wedding with the appreciation to their own country, to their own roots. So we hope that through our researches and also our analysis, all the girls from Vietnamese who want to get married to her foreign boyfriends and have the tendency to hold an intercultural weddings. You guys should know something and how to maintain our Vietnamese culture in your wedding. And of course, we hope that our video can help you something more than this. And now let's come, and this is also the last part of our video. So for more video, please subscribe our channel and leave your comment below this video because we hope that we can receive more your comments, not only compliments, but also your research and even your experiences related to this topic. And now it's time to say goodbye and let's welcome our next video.